Well, hello the new, it's only me, Leonard Wells, broadcasting from Studio B here in the Giggle Mill in Haslingden, north of Manchester in the UK. Studio B, as most of you will know by now, is the resident home of that world-famous studio engineer Adolf Strudel from Berchtesgaden in Bavaria. Very sweet chap. Technically perfect, but a strict disciplinarian who refuses me more than 12 digital megaburgers per broadcast. This means I have to deny you once again my world famous rendition, very forgettable, of Nessun Dorma. I just ask Adolf if he'd like to say a word to you. Adolf, would you like to speak to the audience? No? How about a wave? Give them a wave? You're very privileged folks, he very rarely waves, but you'll notice his gloved hand. This is because of the wound he sustained in what we call the WAR. I'm not allowed to mention any more than that. I have two little tales for you this afternoon. Roberto is an art connoisseur, and one day as he's walking along one of the big streets in Tel Aviv, outside a little delicatessen, he notices a cute little kitten drinking milk from a dirty old saucer. Being an expert in these matters, he quickly realizes that the saucer is a rare, one-off Ming saucer, and very, very, very valuable. So he strolls nonchalantly into the store and he speaks to the owner and he said, I'm a cat lover. He said, how about £2 for the cat? Not for sale, said Abe, the proprietor. Look, said Roberto, the cat's dirty and it's probably got fleas, but I love cats, I'm eccentric. How about £10? It's a deal, said Abe, and pocketed the money. For that sum, I'm sure you won't mind throwing in the saucer, said Roberto. The kitten seems to like it and seems to be happy drinking milk from it. Nothing doing, says Abe, that's my lucky saucer. From that saucer, I've sold 34 kittens this week. Thank you. In my next little tale, again a little bit about arrogance, Shlomo is driving a Russian Lada in Tel Aviv, and one day he's driving along and at a traffic light he pulls up alongside a Rolls Royce. So he winds down the window, which of course he doesn't have electric windows in a Lada, and he smiles at the driver of the Rolls. He says, hey buddy, nice car, you got a phone in there? He says, I've got one in my Lada. David, who was rather snooty, he looks down and he says, of course I've got a phone in my car. Cool, says Shlomo. You got a fridge in there too, buddy? I got a fridge in the back of my Lada. David looks rather annoyed by now. He says, of course we have a refrigerator. So Shlomo said, how about a television? You got a television? David was getting a bit annoyed by now. He says, of course I have a television. Rolls-Royce has everything, you know. It's the finest car in the world. Say, says Shlomo, you got a bed in your car? I've got one in the back of my Lada. David was rather upset and he had to keep his cool because he knew he didn't have a bed in the back. So he drove off and immediately went straight round to the Rolls-Royce dealer and insisted that they install a bed in the back. And when he collected it next morning, there it was, a superb bed, fit for a Rolls-Royce. So he sets off looking for the Lada, and it took him ages, and eventually he found it parked in a car park. All the windows were fogged up from the inside. So he knocked on the door, and eventually Shlomo stuck his head out, but he was soaking wet. David says, I thought I ought to let you know I now have and I have a bed in the back of my Rolls Royce. Crumbs, said Shlomo. You got me out of the shower to tell me this? Thank you and good night, folks.